Hey everybody. I wanted to give everyone an update as far as the evidence and stuff that we've turned over to the BOMA with regards to ethical issues and misconduct for the town of Chapel Hill with regards to the BOMA and the Planning Commission. I figured it'd be a lot easier just to put a video post up. A lot of people probably appreciate it a little bit more, and it would take a lot of typing and a lot of posts just to kind of communicate and get everything up there for everybody to see. I will ask though that if people are going to make comments, if you can be respectful, let's not have arguments or get into left or right political debates, because this is a bipartisan issue that everybody sees myself and Ben and Nathan as the face of this, but there is a large group of people behind the scenes that a lot of people don't know about, who some of them are just afraid to come and go public because they're afraid of retaliation against them. But this has definitely been a bipartisan effort by a lot of us. So as many of you know, yesterday, September 22nd, was a special meeting at 5 p.m. that was called by Mayor Fulkenberry, which he said he called it. That meeting was a very disingenuous meeting called by Mayor Fulkenberry. He called it at 5 o'clock p.m. when people were just getting off of work. And he had no interest in allowing us the adequate time to present the ample amounts of evidence that we have. He limited us to 3 minutes, knowing that we couldn't do it. I believe his intentions and potentially the intentions of others who may have been behind getting this set up was to make it the appearance that they were taking this serious and trying to get it behind it. But in reality, they were going to say there was no evidence presented. Yesterday, I presented a 6-page formal complaint on ethical and potential criminal violations against Mayor Fulkenberry, against Planning Commissioner Jeff Knox, and the city attorney Todd Moore. In that complaint, I outlined several ethical and potential criminal violations that occurred last month on August 25th, 2025 at the BOMA Planning Commission. I'm sorry, at the Planning Commission, not the BOMA Planning Commission. You have to forgive me. I'm just doing this off the top of my head. I'm not doing this from a script, and I'm going to try and remember as much as I can. So we submitted that, and I passed it out to everybody on the BOMA before the meeting started, and I even gave a copy of it to Jeff Knox as a courtesy, since he was one of those that was listed in the complaint. In that complaint, we addressed the issue at that Planning Commission meeting. Jeff Knox had said that he had put an item on the agenda, and that issue was he wants the town to annex a portion about 2,700 plus feet of Old 99 that connects to his property. And he said he needed to connect that to his property so he could put in a second entrance exit to that subdivision, because the county told him he wasn't going to be able to do it, and his best chances were to get the town to annex that. One of the problems that Commissioner Knox did is he didn't recuse himself as a planning commission member, but rather did it in his official capacity as a planning commissioner. And he did this during a planning commission meeting. And he knew he needed to recuse himself, because he said that he was going to want to talk about it before he recused himself for a vote. Well, under Tennessee law, he can't do that. If he has a direct, indirect benefit from it, which he does because it's his mega subdivision over there off of Depot Street, the problem there is he had to recuse himself altogether and not speak. He probably would have been better off just taking an absent from that planning commission meeting and acting as just a citizen from the stands like everybody else, and had his 3 minutes to talk about it. But that's not what happened. That then turned into a 15.5-minute conversation. And that 15.5-minute conversation took place in front of Mayor Fulkenberry and the town attorney, both who are charged under the law of not allowing that to happen. And the city attorney is also the chief ethics officer. So he had an obligation to stop that. He didn't. And for those of you who were there in attendance last night, got to see additional people who were required to recuse themselves not recuse themselves. That was absolutely insane for him to do that. And that's resulting in us going to file another ethics complaint against him, as well as with the Tennessee Board of Professional Responsibility for his attorney license, because he not only advised them improperly that they can engage in conversation about it, he gave them permission to violate both civil law and criminal law, that it can be charged as a felony on them. Mayor Falkenberry had the same responsibility. He knew it. It was spelled out with citations of the law that they were violating. They continue to do it. This is a problem that's ongoing. Ben Piper, he knew what was going on. He knew what they were doing. Ben Piper did the right thing. He started off by saying, hey, wait a minute, 3 minutes is not enough. And they ignored him and they wanted to move forward anyway. He then said, the town attorney's not even here yet. We need to wait till he gets here. So they tabled it and they waited till he got there. And once the town attorney got there, he then said, I want to go on the record. This needs not be investigated by us. This needs to be investigated by a state agency so they can get to the bottom of this. That was seconded by Hawk and King. And then with the exception of one person, I believe it was Jonathan Gilbert on the BOMA, everybody else voted to let an outside agency, more specifically a state agency, to come in and investigate this. Hats off to Ben Piper for bringing that forward and stopping this BOMA from this charade and fraud on the people that they were committing. Ben Hudson presented additional evidence, probably over a pound of paper to each one, which contained a lot of documentation showing business partnerships and relationships between Jeff Knox and other projects that he voted on and approved as a BOMA member to advance to council and for things to happen. This too is illegal. This cannot happen. He needs to disclose those relationships, which he failed to do. And then he needed to recuse himself, which he failed to do, and he voted on those. These are multiple people and businesses. Those are available if somebody wants to go get those. I believe that at some point they're going to be made available for everybody to see, as well as my 6-page complaint is going to be posted for everybody to see. In addition to that, I will, once the official complaint for the Board of Professional Responsibilities been filed, we'll post a copy of that up as well for everybody to see. Why are we doing this? The good question there, and ask that. There's a lot going on here that's illegal. Mayor Falkenberry even said that we called it the Good Old Boys Network. That's not the word that was used, but it's definitely what's going on here. And it's how can we help out our buddy to further his advancements, to include stuff by Commissioner Deckert. Commissioner Deckert has voted on projects and then went on Facebook and bragged that he won the contract to do landscaping development on those projects, and then went on different social media posts and started posting to help people fill vacancies in those buildings. He's also pushed and promoted projects that he voted on for Jeff Knox. These are all problematic. He had to recuse himself last night, but if you saw the video, he was very tormented and struggled with doing it. And before he recused himself, he made a second on a motion, which he should not have done. And in addition to that, before he removed himself, he wanted to make sure that the one person, Joe Sedlak, was going to vote to pass it to go to BOMA to benefit Knox, which is problematic. I want to encourage you guys, stay involved, attend these meetings, hold these people accountable. Ben Hudson has received a cease and desist letter from Jeff Knox's attorneys in an attempt to chill his First Amendment right to speak out and bring grievance against his government. These are well-established rights ruled over and over and over. And this may come to a point where Ben, myself, and Nathan may have to bring a First Amendment lawsuit against the town of Chapel Hill to enforce the law and our rights as citizens. It's not something we want to do. It's something we've gone way out of our way to not allow to happen. On that same token, we're going way out of our way to not have to bring lawsuits to enforce public records requests that we've requested and that we're entitled to. And once again, those involve Sean Deckard and Jeff Knox refusing to turn over documentation, emails, and phone records that they're required to by law. they're hiding and they're concealing and refusing to turn stuff over. So we'll post more updates as they come in and as things are happening and progressing. We're not trying to make any, let me rephrase that. We're not trying to put things public right now until we file them and we can secure. And that's kind of how you do things on any investigation. So feel free to reach out if you have any questions, y'all. Thanks.